we get along. We yeah, we get along. We work together. I mean, we don't have to hang out and chill and have libations, but just like on any championship team, because I feel we're a team. Um, Jordan did hang out with Rodman. Rodman did hang out with Horace Grant. You know what I mean? But when they was on that court, they balled. Even when I played high school and college sports, I didn't hang out with everybody that's on my team. My basketball team, I was only black. My senior year, I think my junior year too, I was only black on the squad. Shouts out to Midland Lutheran College, Fremont, Nebraska. But I was only black, so I had my white homeboys that I hung out with on the basketball squad, but it's only like a few of us, that we hung out. We party, chase women, all that stuff. Those my homeboys. They like brothers to me. But I didn't hang out with everybody on my basketball squad of 15 or 30 something, including the JV, even the track squad. I didn't hang out with everybody on the track squad. Of course, we support each other, but we don't hang out with each other. But we support each other when it's time, when it's game day, and when it's time to perform. And so um, we have to demonstrate as adults so young people can mimic. How can they mimic when they don't see? Yesterday they saw brothers coming together in brotherhood. Appreciate it. We demonstrated here also. It's good that we're having a ripple effect. Some things are happening behind the scenes. Some things are public. I'm glad that they demonstrated that we are at a new age. Of course, we gotta critique. We should be able to critique. See, I'm using them big words again. We smart over here. We gotta critique. And even the words that we use are important. We're not criticizing those that have, certain responsibilities. We're not criticizing. We're just critiquing your responsibilities. Are you meeting your responsibilities? And so I appreciate the demonstration of brotherhood because it's necessary. I keep telling you, greatness come from here, and if the world's gonna move, the ripple effect's gonna begin in the ONE. It's only one ONE, baby. Shouts out to Tupelo, Mississippi. They get second, but it's only one ONE, baby. It's only one. Greatness come from here. We got the pound for pound come from my town. Without a doubt, baby. We got a black Terrence in every neighborhood, as my brother comedian would say. So on this Tell the Truth Tuesday, I want to tell the truth that the brothers in North Omaha or all over Omaha is turn the cheek towards love. I like that. I like that. They turn the cheek towards love. They yielding their own personal ego, super ego in psychological terms. They're leaving it outdoors and they're doing it for the betterment of the community. And that needs to be just demonstrated all over this community. I still got some, whatever. I say what's up to you though. I say what's up to my adversaries. I go in the same room as my adversaries. Without a doubt, baby. I work for God. Without a doubt. You ain't scared me. But we always got to be wise to make sure that we have allies in a room when we walk in rooms of iniquity. That's why my mom always say, man, that was my nickname. He said, if someone treats you good, treat them better because you might need them one day. I believe at that crucial time, someone's going to be in the room to help a brother. I help a lot of people. This need to be reciprocated, and these brothers demonstrated. And shouts out to the Empowerment Network for bringing um, people together to network fellowship to create commerce for our community. So on this Total Tuesday, we're gonna applaud all year us. Without a doubt, baby. Applaud you on what you're gonna do. Today again, it's Total Tuesday. The goal is to be honest with yourself. If you need to complete school, if you need to change your friends, if you need to go get chemical dependency help, if you need to go get mental help, if you need to whatever, if you need to apologize or if you need to accept an apology, today is the day. The day is Tell the Truth Tuesday. You got to be honest with yourself. No one can love you more than you. It's impossible. You with you every second of the day. You can expect other people to lie, cheat, steal, rob, kill, rape. That's what they do in America. Don't get mad at me because that's what happens. And so, in order to protect yourself, you got to be truthful to self. We, it ain't no scare tactic because, oh yeah, we got the armor of God over here. Oh yeah, we got the armor of God. Like my man Toot said, I heard him earlier this morning speaking, to the young artists that, they can't move in certain communities because they gang banging, you know, they participating in the destruction, but they got talent. But they can't go over here because they got destructive behavior, but they got talent. And now he called it deaf talent. We are God and goddesses, and the things that we say manifest. I know for a fact I bring things from the abstract to the concrete. I know I'm a God without a doubt. I ain't the God, I'm a little God. Without a doubt, baby. I'm a mortal God. Bring your scientists in here. Bring your theologists in here. We smart over here. I like challenging, intellect. I like challenging intellect because we should be wanting to make ourselves better than we were yesterday. We should be wanting to. I mean, that's how uh, I behaved when I was in school to be better than I was yesterday, to be smarter, to learn different educational disciplines because each level, grade level, we took different classes, as well as my body mature as a young athlete. I went from being a water boy in ninth grade to being an all star my senior year in 12th grade. Just because someone say no to you today doesn't mean it's no tomorrow. So young people at 739, as my mama would say, your teachers, they got theirs. You need to go get yours. So just be honest with yourself. You got to be honest with yourself because I used to ride the school bus, used to listen to Sweet 98. But y'all listening to the boss now, and we got a certain responsibility to make sure that you are making decisions that demonstrate love. And so if you receive constructive criticism, we're talking about constructive criticism, the criticism of love, the criticism that's going to build you up. Because I got it all the time from my surrogate fathers, my coaches. Shouts out to Coach Trader and Coach Beckman over at Bryan High. Because after school, I had to get my education because my mom couldn't read and write. So I had to. I learned earlier that failure is not an option. My mama couldn't read and write. What I supposed to do? Let her down? What I supposed to do? Let her down? So I learned early that failure is not an option. Of course, I'm going to lose because we played in against other neighborhoods. Sometimes we didn't win against other neighborhoods, but that's what we competed because we picked our neighbors. That's why we over here we just demonstrate that loving our neighbors because we knew the essence and the talents of our neighbors. And so on this Tell the Truth Tuesday, man, we got to get back to just being real us, just being just basic. We only got one pair of pants. You can only drive one car. Money is not the value that you think. Health is way more valuable than money. I would take health any day over money. I can get money tomorrow, but I want my health today. You Negroes want your money today. Don't even care about your health. You're gonna have to end up spending that money on your health. So here at 95.7 The Boss, we have a responsibility. And our responsibility is to acknowledge those that are manifesting their God-given talents. Shouts out Miss Johnson. We appreciate you. YouTube, Facebook. And I gotta do the Instagram. Let me do this Instagram thing. I'm getting old. I'm getting mature. So on this Tell the Truth Tuesday, man, we do this for a reason. We are a research radio station, man. We can't play no games when tomorrow's not promised. You know what I mean? I want to live forever. You know what? I'm gonna be the first black Benjamin Button. Yep, I'm gonna be the first black Benjamin Button. Because in your children book it said that whatever a man think of, so is he. And we got a bishop coming in later. I'm gonna ask him some questions. I got some questions for the bishop. This bishop is a cool bishop. He's out of California. He's gonna be sliding through around about 8:30. He's out of Church of God in Christ. He's a Koji bishop. He's gonna be coming in. I forgot his name, but we're gonna have a bishop coming in at what's up, Tim Clark? My man Tim Clark is gonna be sliding through. What's the date? Oh, yeah, Tim Clark gonna be coming through, man. He'll be starting this new show. Man, we're gonna be doing some new things in 2024. We gotta increase the heat. We got to increase the heat, and we got to continue the momentum in which the senators have created, bringing a $500 million. My man, what's up, Alan? Man, they got a lot of AZ Worm. They got man on Facebook. They got a lot of nicknames. I don't know, man. Black people, well, people in period, but black people, y'all use all the letters in the dictionary. Y'all use them all. I don't know. Y'all mix them up and then y'all say it's pronounced this way. How are we supposed to know? But we got to continue this momentum in 2024. $500 million. The senator says it's going to be rolled out over 3 years. So we still got some time to modify the wording in the legislation because there's a lot of people that applied that didn't get money. I'm one of them. We a radio station. We didn't get no money. We're part of the emergency alert system. Now I'm going to yield because I should want for my brothers and sisters for which I want for myself. I think that's how my homeboy bro Muhammad teaches. We should want for our brother as we want for ourselves. And so if someone gets a grant or whatever, we should want them to have it because we want that for us also. We can't be selfish, y'all. This is all a mind frame. That's why I say we do what we do here because we are a research radio station. Our goal is to make us better than we were yesterday. And it starts with our mind. It starts with how we think, our decision making, y'all. I'm in training also. I'm in self therapy. This is therapy for me. This is class. This is therapy itself. We got to heal together. We got to critique. those at all times, in good times and bad times. We should be able to pat each other on the back in good times and bad times. All right, you didn't perform your best, but you'll get them next time. So life is sports. Sports is life. So on this Tell the Truth Tuesday, uh, be truthful to yourself, but also accept the truth. If if you know you need to improve yourself in a certain area. That's what a constructive criticism means. Love. That person that's giving you constructive criticism want to see you perform at your best. Want you to be your best. What's wrong with being a better than you were yesterday? What's wrong with being better than we were yesterday? That's what we did at Bryan High. I still got my triple jump record at Bryan High 40 years ago. I am one of the greatest jumpers around here, without a doubt, baby. I jump from the free throw line and dunk it. I am the greatest dunker around here. I ain't bragging. That's facts. Everybody else get honorable mention. The brothers be upset too when they know that Michael Jordan, the Michael Jordan. Some of y'all consider the greatest basketball player ever. He said to me, he said, Mr. King, you are a leaper. He had said that to Spud Webb. He had said that to Dominique Wilkins. Just facts. I'm the greatest around here. Y'all get honorable mention. I'm standing with a smile, y'all. I'm getting all the basketball players riled up. Yeah, you boys clubbers. Yeah, you boys clubbers. So, but it took work, y'all. I knew that I wanted to go to college, and my mama couldn't afford for me to go to college. So that means I had to go get my education. I had to pay attention. I knew I had to get over a certain grade point average, and I knew I had to perform on that basketball court and that track. I love basketball. I didn't get any scholarships in basketball, y'all. No letters and nothing. So you student athletes, so what? You love a sport, you don't get no letters in it. You football players or whatever, you get no letters, whatever. But track was my better sport. I was a jumper. I was all state, played second in state. I should have won. Oh, I scratched. But I was all state in track. Got a scholarship. Shouts out to Coach McMahon at Midland Lutheran College. Recruited by UNL. They gave me a walk on opportunity. I didn't want to go to UNL. I wanted to play basketball also. So I went to Midland. I went to travel to all the other schools, Doane and all these other schools. But I chose to go to Midland mainly because there's other people from Bryan that was going to Midland. Those relationships are important. So on a track scholarship, first day, second day on campus, um, I'm in a bookstore on campus, and then the basketball coach come in, Coach McMahon. Coach McGill, and he asked whether I'm interested in basketball. I said, heck yeah. I said, I plan on coming out. He said, he told me, the particulars that the squad gonna be working out. And so I took the opportunity, and I was all conference in basketball, first team all conference my junior senior year. Won the dunk contest in the G Pack with all the small colleges. Yeah, I won the dunk contest with all those big dudes. I've never lost a dunk contest. So, today is Tell True Tuesday. It might sound like I'm bragging, but I got these skills from God, y'all. But seriously, we got a bishop coming in later from California. We're gonna be talking about some God in the next 40 minutes. So I'm gonna let y'all listen to some music, y'all. I've been writing a grant, man. So pray for me. Pray for me, without a doubt. So if you guys are going through something today, You know, everybody's always going through something. I'm gonna play these next couple songs. The first song is called Motivated. And then after that, I got Christ on it. We want you to get motivated today, y'all, on this Tell the Truth Tuesday. And then if you need some help, if you don't believe in Christ, you can bring Moses. If you're Jewish, if you are Muslim, you can add Muhammad. But if you're Christian, you got Christ on it. All right, we including the whole world, y'all. You add whoever you are led by, boss with us.
Who is Timothy?
Oh yeah, 95.7 the boss, man. We call this Tell the Truth Tuesday. Shouts out to the brothers in the north side for leading a different direction of brotherhood. I keep telling y'all, greatness comes from here. Without a doubt, baby. 95.7 the boss.
But no more Mr. Nice Guy. That was an evil laugh, by the way.
Who is Timothy?
Oh yeah.
That's fine.
You know I had to do it. I had to do it. As my son would say, Daddy, rewind. Boss, what is this? Tell the Truth Tuesday. Oh yeah, we got the bishop coming in at 8:30, y'all. Hang out with me. Boss with me.
But no more Mr. Nice Guy. That was an evil laugh, by the way. Now I'm feeling motivated. These haters got me aggravated. Don't come near me cause I'm agitated. I've been patient but I'm tired of waiting. Our Father in heaven, my God protect me, Lord. So many late nights I cried, I swear life gets hard. This pain and these scars give me strength to overcome. My daddy, he taught me you better. I've been running up in my city, then no cap. How you call yourself a rapper, but you cannot rap? Ain't my fault, your keep my up out of mouth. I just made like 40 bands and sitting on the couch. They take it to my bed, go be I'm on the couch. Celebrating like me, yeah, we standing on the couch. Don't ask me about no used to hang with, that's the past. If I wasn't being positive, I'd probably be so These haters got me aggravated. Don't come near me cause I'm agitated. I've been patient but I'm tired of waiting. On top, killing these MCs non-stop. Heartbreak kid, it makes sweet music. That don't make your chin drop. Won't flop. Okay, I'm the underdog with the dialogue to let you know that I am wrong. You words don't stick no analog. Yo, coming up fresh in the game. He was timid at first, but then he became the shit. And now people chanting his name. All he gotta do is maintain. Yeah, but sometimes I feel like I'm under attack. Been wanting to quit, but I always come back. Cause this is something that I gotta have. If you hating on me, you can kiss my ass. Girls love to talk, but they are not in my league. Trying to catch up to me, I'm leaving these MCs fatigued. They trying to say we passing things up, that's not what it seems. It's ludicrous the way I'm always disturbing the peace. Yeah, I'm special, that's why I stay fighting devils. But when the dust settles, I'm still screaming settle. Yeah, though, it's me, Frosting the Rebel. Tim, turn up the trouble. Champions never die, put the pedal to the metal. Now I'm feeling motivated. These haters got me aggravated. Don't come near me cause I'm agitated. I've been patient but I'm tired of waiting. Granny said be grateful careful when you count your blessings. Dad said break their necks, said they disrespected. Used to be humble, now I'm living reckless. Back shots to your girl as she made me breakfast. How does it feel to be king of the hill? I grind so hard, need no gas station peel. Ducking on like I am Shaquille. Raise these little like I'm Uncle Phil. I'm working all these dudes at a 2020 hindsight. Did them like Debo. This is my bite. Work the Nipsey, I ain't nothing like these rap. On my left foot, go around a lap. Spitting hot bars, go around and catch a tail, boy. I'm the Franklin safe foot and all these man boys. Move the block like Tetris on the Game Boy. You are not an op, you's a fan, boy. Now I'm feeling motivated. These haters got me aggravated. No, I'm nervous because I'm agitated. I've been patient, but I'm tired of waiting.
Oh, it's sympathy. It's fire. It's fire.
Humble Greatness did this one.
Yeah. It's all. I got Christ on it. Yeah. I got Christ on it. I'm gonna take y'all back with me. Yeah. I was only 10 years old when the devil took my innocence from me. Told me to shut up, don't say a word, or it's the infamy. Grew up a little faster than I should, living sinfully. Hit 13 and that's all she wrote, the rest was history. Grew up in the church, pops a pastor, mama first lady. Just to go home to live in darkness, my life felt so crazy. Never shady, spitting truth, it really hurt, I promise you. Y'all really took the time to understand what was happening under your roof. I cried for rice, no starry nights, my life a film movie. Not talking popcorn and candy, but gruesome facts exclusive. This ain't a sad song, just wanna share some heat about how my life was little house on the prairie to nightmare on Elm Street. Only share my testimony. See y'all out there like me, ain't no more being discreet. Time to war in these streets, not over flesh and blood, but over these principalities. The devil really thought he had me, but I got Christ on it. Yeah, I got Christ on it. I got Christ on it, yeah. Coming from the trenches, ain't nobody really listening. They just wanna make assumptions about your life, creating distance. It's resistance, pay subscription, demons lurking, that's their mission. But what you gonna do when you start switching up your position? Lean on God, he's the one that got you this far. Relationship over religion, he's just wanting your permission. Christ has did it, yeah, it's finished. For your life and all your sinning, he wants to show you different. He wants to give you vision. I got Christ on it, he know what it's like for me. All my pain, all my hurt, he walked it out on the earth. He rose us up from the dirt. I hope you know there's more to this life than all the things that you've endured. There's a cure, his name is Christ. Yeah. Oh, his name is Christ, and he wants to get you right. He wants to bring you back to life. Yeah. I got Christ on it. Yeah. Yeah. I got Christ on it. Yeah. No, it says in Romans 12:2, do not be conformed to this world, but instead with the transformed mind, be renewed. That way, whatever you have is good and acceptable. And it's the perfect will of God. So no matter what you're going through in this life, no matter what your life has given you and thrown in you, just know that if you put Christ on it, everything gonna work out. So, out here.
I was just like, why you say that? He was like, dude, he was like, man, you a world champion. He was like, trust me.
He understood that if we gotta go over there and get that title, that's what we gotta do.
Yes, sir. Respect me or get your head bust, that's for starts. I done made a band or two, busting down a guard. Busting down these beats, about to bust down Usher Park. Busting down these beats, pulling strings, no guitar. 100 blues on me in one pocket, that's light. Up top in the box, betting on Bud at the fight. Gotta get like 10 or more and I'm knocking down the price. Lil' bro flip me over, cut him off, dim this light. Shit. 10. I ain't have brick to bust down. Plug gave me no look past. We up now. All gold, presidential. Pieces got 'em bust down. They told me I was gonna run out of steam. So what's up now? I know I'm not the trust clown. The Neds in the huddle, never touchdown. It's time to get the fuck out. These niggas ain't home. And they don't want shit. They wanna be rich. Put everybody stuck in the moment. I'm just playing for keeps. You run up on me. Used to go on. Nah, man, but them cold nights on the block we call pneumonia. I'm like that. It's not just a persona. Now I can look in your eyes and I can tell that you don't want it. Respect me or get your head bust, that's for starts. I done made a band or two, busting down a car. Busting down these beats, about to bust down Usher Park. Busting down these beats, pulling strings, no guitar. 100 blues on me in one pocket, that's light. Up top in the box, betting on Bud at the fight. Gotta get like 10 or more and I'm knocking down the price. Lil' bro flip me over, cut him off, dim this lights. Getting it. Initiating this money front and back end. Codeine make me nod off, only time I get naps in. Curve check the 40s, bit the rims in these potholes. Baby Drake, we got those Americans and Russians. Baby girl was blushing when she found how much I'm touching. Interrogation room, I told them peoples I know nothing. Turn myself into a plug, continuously kept pumping. He say he don't dodge nothing, let's see when I start dumping. Where I'm from, you touch 100, that must mean something. That must mean you grit. Run like trick. But they caught the whole 30 thinking it's a sweet lick. Baby love this big VIP, we lit. Respect me or get your head bust, that's for starts. I done made a band or two, busting down a car. Busting down these beats, about to bust down Usher Park. Busting down these beats, pulling strings, no guitar. 100 blues on me in one pocket, that's light. Up top in the box, betting on Bud at the fight. Gotta get like 10 or more and I'm knocking down the price. Lil' bro flip me over, cut him off, dim this lights.
I was just like, why you say that? He was like, dude. He was like, man, you a world champion.
All this while on my mind, you
Turn that up. Turn that down. All right. Omaha, the Burbs of Bless. We got a very, very special guest on the line, y'all. This gentleman, oh, you know how these stars are, Omaha. They got their own noun, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes and predicates to introduce themselves. I'm gonna let this brother introduce himself. We're gonna get right into the conversation because the election is coming up next year, and that's what we've been talking about: participation in the process. This is how we participate in juries. Also, we always talking about issues on the other side. The only way to participate, we got to register and we got to vote. Go ahead and introduce yourself, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, sunny Nebraska. Very happy to be here. Reporting in from Washington, D.C. Robert Quigley here, your next president. We're going to make it work for everybody.
Now, tell us now. First of all, you got a different name, Quigley. Now spell that for us, and tell us where you actually from. I know you live in
Oh,
D.C. now. Give us a snapshot of who you are.
okay, yeah, Quigley is it's a British and Irish name. It goes back to the dark ages of humanity, but it's spelled Quigley, and it's very important you ask that question because I'm a write-in presidential candidate. So when you get to the voting booth, you write the name Robert Quigley, or as close to that as you can possibly get. I started life in Lexington, Kentucky. So I was born in the home of the Wildcats. If you're a basketball fan,
Yep.
that's where the family's been since the country was settled by Europeans hundreds of years ago. But my dad was a naval officer, so I've been everywhere. I've lived, it seems like, everywhere.
Hmm.
And I trained as a lawyer, and I've got 3 law degrees, passed a couple of bar exams. My wife and I, we've owned a couple of dozen businesses in the last 35 years. And ultimately, we settled in D.C. about 2000, so we've been here ever since. And we're turning the page in our own life,
Okay.
and part of that is to use all of our life's experience to make the country better for everybody. So that's my background in a nutshell.
Great. Great. Now, um, why president? Why president? And why now?
Well, those are 2 very good questions. So, if we are talking about making the biggest positive impact, then the office of the president is the one place to do it. Because really, the way our country works, not too much of importance happens without that presidential signature or presidential nod.
Uh huh.
So if you got the background, you got the experience, you got the proposals, that's the one place we're going to make the biggest impact. In terms of why now, that's another great question because in the entire history of the country, we've never been at a point where 75% of the population hates both Democrats and Republicans. They hate the front runners, of course, Biden and Trump. And so if you're an independent, and I am an independent, which means I'm not really affiliated with any party,
Hmm.
although during my life I've voted Democrat and Republican. I mean, I'm a person, in terms of candidates, but
Hmm.
but as an independent, this is like the best time in history. So as I talk to folks in Nebraska, 4 out of 10 voters across the country support Quigley for the White House. So it's a combination of timing, and of course the evolution of one's political views. But now's the time to do it.
Wow. Wow. Now, what's tell us a little bit about your platform. What's going to be some of your initiatives?
Well, we got several let's call it the big 6 parts of the platform. We got a lot of small issues too, but let me just kind of randomly take the big 6. We are going to improve and increase home ownership all across the country. We're going to make it extremely easy to get that FHA loan, and basically, home ownership is at 60% right now. We should have it at somewhere around 85, 90% across the country. There are places in the Northeast that are already at that level, but we need the whole country at that level. So we're gonna tweak the FHA, and we're gonna make it much easier. If you've been a good rent payer, then you deserve a mortgage. That's going to be a big one. We're going to create millions, literally 30 million new business owners. And the biggest problem with new business owners is getting financing.
Uh huh.
So we're going to tweak the SBA, and we are going to make it much, much easier for new business owners to get substantial financing for a new business, as well as existing business owners to expand their business. After all, America is based on capitalism, and the government must also be in the business of taking risks, especially with its own citizens. So those are 2 of the big ones. We're going to deal with climate repair. We got to take CO2 out of the atmosphere, so we're going to build a lot of direct air capture plants. We're going to make student loans bankruptable. You can't be a slave to student loans your whole life. If it's not working for you, it's not working. We
Right.
got to get rid of them. We're going to lower the price structure for the whole society. That's going to be another big one. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to reform the Fed, and then finally we're going to reform healthcare and make sure that the primary part of healthcare is free for everybody. So you go to the doctor, you get a checkup, they run some tests, they find out what's wrong with you, and they give you a prescription. That's like 98% of the people.
Right.
You'll be okay in a couple of weeks. So, and then everything we currently have, we're just going to let it exist in the second category. So those are really the big initiatives that will greatly improve the lives of all Americans.
Well, a lot of that is tied in with credit and getting those individuals, the middle classes, is vanishing, and a lot is because of just high inflation, debt, and it's going to affect those people credit. And pandemic also has to be part of the equation. How are we going to get over that hump up with credit? Because you got millions of Americans that want to start a business, but they still dealing with that credit system. Can that be addressed in any fashion?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, you have hit the nail on the head. Yeah, you have been doing your homework. I totally agree with you 100%. I mean, my wife and I, we spent a life in small business ownership, and we know this problem like the back of our hands. So what we're going to do is with the SBA, we're eliminating the credit score requirement completely.
Great.
In terms of the FHA loan, we are also eliminating the credit score requirement completely. So let me give you an example. When you want to start a new business, we're going to restructure the SBA and basically make the administrators look to see if the applicant has business experience.
Right.
So let's take just an example. Let's say you want to own a coffee shop. I mean, I love coffee and pastry, so I'm just picking this off the top of my head this morning. But let's just say you want to own a coffee shop, but it could be any business in the economy. It doesn't matter. Then the real criteria is, do you know how to run a coffee shop? So have you worked in a coffee shop for 1, 2, or 3 years? Have you done the various jobs in a coffee shop? Do you have a decent location? Do you know how to run a clean, successful, profitable business? So those are the real questions that need to be asked if one's going to get an SBA loan. The credit score, the collateral, the co-signers, those are barriers to entry. And we do not want any kind of barrier to entry like that to exist. Let me tell you, when we talk about credit scores, you can have a bad month. You can slip on a banana peel and not make your payments, to your credit card company or something for a month or two. And then the next thing you know, you have no credit for the rest of your life. So that whole system was designed to protect banks and financiers. And of course, the banks and financiers aren't really the ones that are on the line. It's ultimately the government that's the backstop of the financial system.
Right.
So the credit score is really, it's a giveaway to the banks and financial institutions, and it just allows them to not do their job properly. So we are just totally going to say, when you apply for that SBA loan, we're not even looking at or pulling credit scores. That's not where we're going. Now, what I've just said about the SBA loan is going to be the same with the mortgage. So let's look at the mortgage situation. If you have been paying rent for 2 or 3 years, I'm going to just pick a round number, okay?
Okay.
Let's just say you've been paying a rent for $1,000 a month for the last 3 years and you haven't missed a payment. Well, okay. So what does that tell anybody with 2 brain cells worth of common sense? Well, it tells you that you can afford a mortgage at the same amount of $1,000 per month.
Right.
So why in the world should we even be looking at a credit score when we have a renter who's got a 3-year track record of making the rent? So we give them a mortgage for the same amount. And the reason why I'm pushing this very hard is simple. And as the president can make it happen. Okay, it can be mandated with the regulations. But the reason why we're doing this, one of the reasons, is because the government winds up owning all of the mortgages. So don't be fooled. When your local bank, let's just call it small town bank, when they issue a mortgage, they don't really issue that mortgage. They turn right around and sell it to the federal government, the Fannie Mae, the Freddie Mac, the FHA. So ultimately, the government is the one that's on the line for the vast majority of these mortgages. So there's absolutely no reason whatsoever to even have a credit score in the picture. There is
Okay.
risk, there will be defaults, but the vast majority of people will buy that house and they will make those mortgage payments, and in 30 years, even we make the payment period 40 years, they'll get it paid at some point. So I'm
Right.
with you 100%. That's how we're going to deal with it.
Great. Great. You mentioned housing, affordable housing, because we got different people at different income levels. I grew up in the projects. My dad was fortunately was able to come back. Um, he was in the Air Force, was able to buy us a house. Um, how can we attack that area of society?
Well, there's a couple of things that we're going to do. Actually, as we are talking right now, there are large housing corporations that are literally setting on more than 1 million units of unoccupied houses or apartments or condo units across the country, and the government cannot allow the housing stock to be hogged, as it were, to be sort of bought and shelved, and because that would eliminate the homelessness right there, just one
Hmm.
example.
Right.
But one of the big things that we're going to do, I'm a fan of the tiny houses. I've got one in my backyard, for example. I live here in D.C. and everything is pretty cramped, but
Right.
I'm fortunate to have a small backyard and a small front yard. So I've got a tiny house in the back of my house, and I am just totally a fan of this because it's a very efficient, low cost way of living, and they can be done quite nicely. So we're going to do a couple of things. We're going to make it financially harsh and difficult for these large companies to buy up rental property and then just try to corner that market. So we don't want that happening. But we're also going to make it much easier by building smaller, more affordable homes.
Hmm.
I mean, after all, the standard, ranch house, 3-bedroom home in the suburbs is not for everybody. I
Right.
mean, I love America. I've lived in cities, I've lived in suburbs, I lived in the countryside, but it's just we don't have to have the same type of house for everybody. And when you drive across America, one of the first things you notice is something like 70% of our land, 75% of our land is just like not even used. I mean, there's they're parks, they're forests, they're pastures. So there's so much opportunity to restructure how we actually configure the housing situation. So I'm with you 100%.
Hmm.
And we need to, and the other thing we need to do is we need to convince the population the city is not always the place to live. So you're talking about projects, and every big city has huge apartment clusters.
Right.
I always remind folks, remember Katrina down in New Orleans. What happens when big cities fall apart? It's a nightmare. Life is so much comfortable in small towns and rural areas, semi-rural areas. Exurbs. I mean, there's so many other nice places that we should be encouraging the folks to move to just for a better quality of life. So I'm with you 100%. We can't continue on the track we're on because it's taking us nowhere.
Now, immigration. We see the border that affects housing also. It seems like it's a ripple effect, and then of course that's going to affect pricing. What's the solution in regards to the border?
Yeah, that's a good question. Every time I talk to folks that are down on the border states, this is dominating our conversation. Quigley is going to close that border tighter than a drum. So one of the first things we're going to do when I take the White House in 2024 is we're going to declare a national emergency. That will allow me to immediately to transfer about 25,000 regular Army folks down to the border, and we're going to close it. We're going to ask the border states, National Guards to pitch in when necessary. We're not going to do it the old-fashioned way. If someone's got a visa or they have a legal right to cross the border, well, of course we're going to allow that to happen. And then, of course, with the commerce, we've got to allow legitimate commerce to cross that border. But what we're not going to do is any way, shape, or form allow these borders to be even remotely open. And there's a lot of reasons why we have to do that. The drug problem is a huge, huge problem. Human trafficking is a huge problem. And the fact that we just have, literally hundreds of thousands, if, we got like 20 million people, 30 million people in America. They came here without a penny in their pocket, and they're crossing this border, and they are in competition with the folks that are here.
Right.
So we have to control that. And I'll just share one iconic example on this topic. I live here in D.C., and, once upon a time, must be like 15 years ago now, 12, 15 years, in one of our retail stores, we had a couple of homeless brothers that would hang out in the neighborhood, and they would come by and they would ask for odd jobs. And of course, whenever we had an odd job, we would throw it their way. And one day I was talking to one of them, and I said, why don't you guys go get a job in the McDonald's down the street? I mean, there's like McDonald's, there's Burger King, there's KFC. You guys are hard workers. I mean, I've seen it for myself. Why don't you go down there and just grab a job and make yourself whatever it is, $15 an hour? And then the guy says to me, he says, well, actually we tried that many times, but we don't get hired because we don't speak Spanish. And I'm like, holy cow, are you kidding me? I said, I'll even go over there and give you a job recommendation. He's like, man, you got to speak Spanish to work in the fast food restaurants. And that kind of hit me like a truck going down the road. It's like we have all these illegal immigrants. They've come to the United States. They don't even speak English in many of those cases. And they're taking the jobs from folks that really deserve them. So we have to put a stop to that. And I know your question was directed to housing.
No. It's a ripple effect with everything.
Yeah, exactly right, 100%. So we're going to have to take these people out of the shadows. We're going to have to create more business owners, and we're going to have to restructure the way we allocate housing across America. But let me just take the border question one step further, because if we do not control the border, we have a serious climate migration problem. As the temperatures go up, what that means is more parts of the planet will become uninhabitable. So let me just give you an example. This past winter in Latin America, South America, the seasons are reversed depending on the northern and southern hemisphere.
Right.
Well, they had 100-degree Fahrenheit a winter. That's not normal, guys. 100 degrees as your winter temperature is bonkers. I mean, it should be like 40 degrees. It should be 30 degrees. It should not be 100 degrees. So what that means is when the temperatures go up, many parts of the land area around the equator, all across the planet, they're going to become uninhabitable. And that means there's going to be migration, and it's already underway. And where are those folks going to try to come? Well, they're going to try to come to America. So there are lots and lots of reasons why we must close that border, clean up the mess that exists in America. And we do that with a very simple focus. Let's put Americans first, second, and third. And then once we got America taken care of, then we will look at other problems around the world.
Well, we got a lot of issues. Now, even before the legal immigration, America have, participated in, some people say destabilizing, Central America and South America. What can we do to, I know it's a lot of corruption down there. What can we do to shore up those countries so, that migration won't continue?
Well, that's another great question, and there's only one answer to that, and the answer is we have to encourage every Latin American country to basically follow our lead. We talked a moment ago about the SBA and creating more business owners. Well, we pretty much have to do the same thing. So, I mean, there's one little lesson.
Mm-hmm.
There's one little lesson in life in my decade plus of travels around the world. When you go to somebody else's country, the first thing you notice is when people are doing well in their home country, the last thing they want to do is immigrate to some other country. I mean,
Right.
there's no point. If
Right.
home is good, then what's on the other side of the planet, or what's 1,000 miles north of you, or whatever. Well, good for them. You're not thinking about it because
Right. Right.
you, your life is good. So what that means is we have to help Latin American economies develop sustainable jobs and communities and families. And of course, the drug problem. Quigley's not going to respect any Latin American border when it comes to drugs. We're going to go after the drug parts of those societies. When they're involved in exporting drugs to the United States, we're going to wipe them out like too many flies in your room. You take out the fly swatter and you just take care of the problem. And that will also help with the localized development in Latin America. And that's the only way. And
Right.
we can do that through education and example. We don't actually have to send people down to pick your favorite Latin American country to actually do it for them. We just simply have to show them, here's how a cottage industry works. Here's what happens when you develop, locally produced goods and services, and how it becomes a self-reinforcing economic process. So that needs to be done. That will definitely cut inflation. Good question.
Now we see all this war. We have a lot of people, that have sons. They've seen the last few wars where our troops come back and they missing, limbs, and they see how our veterans are being treated. Um, we deal with homelessness with our veterans, but also our veterans have to fight to get benefits that they should get automatically because they sign up to die for us. Politicians always use, the military for whatever, but when these troops come back, they don't get the attention like they get the attention when people are running for politics. This next generation of families are worried about sending their daughters and sons over into territories that they know nothing about, as we just communicated. If it's all good over here, why are we worried about something over 1,000, 5,000 miles away? um, what's your philosophy on war?
Yeah, that's a very good question, and the times are certainly changing. I mean, on the one hand, when folks look at my campaign website, they will very quickly realize that I come from an extremely long line of military officers and personnel, Navy, but all services are covered, going back 350 years, 400 years in America. So I know the military like the back of my hand. So
Uh-huh.
we must absolutely take care of all of our veterans, and this includes things like converting some of these really unnecessary military bases into like tiny house developments.
Hmm.
We need to make sure that we don't have veterans homeless on the street. We need to house them. We need to give them a place to live if that's really want to live. And so we got to do a much better job taking care of the veterans. And I have a whole program to deal with that. Now, of course, the other part of the question is we need to stop the endless wars. I mean,
Right.
sometimes
Exactly.
war is important, but what we've seen for the last couple of decades is war is almost to the side of being unnecessary.
Right.
So let's just take the most recent example, Israel and the Palestinians. Now we're not actually in that war yet, but we're handling it the wrong way. So on the one hand, if you want peace, and we all want peace, then of course it's better to have a strong military. So Reagan was absolutely right about that. Back in the '80s, man, and build up a strong military, but use it infrequently. Don't put it in the operation unless you absolutely need it, but you have the ability. In the case of Israel and Palestine, it's obviously an overreaction. War is not the right answer. It's really all about developing the Palestinian economy in terms of economics, social stability, income stability, quality of life. I mean, it's amazing when we take care of folks how little they want to fight. It's
Oh
only
yeah.
when people have terrible lives and in desperate situations that they're even willing to go down the road of murder, mayhem, and war.
Right.
So the military is Biden with a knee jerk reaction immediately within I think it was 2 hours, maybe 3 hours tops of the conflict in Israel and Palestine when it started. He was already ordering the United States Navy to move closer to Israel.
Right.
So this is all wrong, totally 100% wrong.
Right.
We need to approach these problems from like I'm describing. We need to get to the root cause, because if we don't get to the root cause, there's never going to be a solution. So, and that's just one example. But I mean, Russia, Russia's another example. Do we want to? I mean, what the Russians did was 100% wrong.
Right.
And that's a slightly different situation because Russia is actually invading countries, and they say they want to invade more countries.
Right.
So in the case of Russia, we have to be a little more involved militarily because we've already seen World War I and World War II. So it's just best to kind of put a stop to it there. So every situation is going to have a slightly different result, but ultimately, war should not be our first choice.
Well, man, we're gonna have to have you back on again. I got a studio full of guests. I doubt, man. You're a very, very wise. We're gonna Omaha, Nebraska, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We are talking to presidential candidate Robert Quigley out of Washington D.C. Brother, give us your contact information so people can learn more about you and how they can participate in your candidacy.
Absolutely. Well, the website is filled with a ton of information, about 250 videos and audio files. And the website is robertquigleyforpresident.com. And that you can call me, you can send me emails, text messages, robertquigleyforpresident.com. If you want to get involved, it's very simple. Spread the word. Tell your family, your friends, your neighbors, tell everybody you know about the Quigley campaign. And then, of course, if you want to throw in $5 or $10, I joke with people that I'm the $20 president.
Okay.
So, whatever dollars you can throw in, you can do it on the website, and or you can send it in the mail, whatever. I mean, every little bit helps. But remember, I'm here to help all of Omaha, Nebraska, and all of America. And this is a team. You help me, I help you. We all grow together. Well, hey, and I love the time this morning. I definitely appreciate it. Thanks a lot.
Hey, I'm going to give you a call later, and then we're going to schedule another time.
All right, appreciate it.
Appreciate you.
All right, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
All the best.
Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. That was U.S. candidate for president Robert Quigley out of Washington, D.C. He's a write-in candidate for United States president. So, we talk to people over here for real. We got some more guests coming in the building. I'm gonna take a quick break, real quick. We're gonna get some chairs for everybody. And since I think we got a lot of God people in the building, and so I gotta play some spiritual stuff this morning. Sometimes they call me Reverend New Hope. The only hope you got. But so let me play this one song. I love this song. I played it earlier. It's from a young lady. Her name is Salt. Her father is actually a minister, and this song is called "I Got Christ" on it. Boss with us. You know how technology is. So, hey, how you doing? No, okay. Hey, how you doing? Yeah. Well, the music don't want to play, y'all. We're gonna bring the bishop in. They're guests in the house. So I met him for the first time. I'm always, oh yeah, okay. And we got the pastor Mitchell in the house. I named my church after her church. You know what I mean? I told her the other day. Let me slide over a little bit, Bishop, because you know, my church is Tabernacle of God. You know, everywhere I go, you know, we in church.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, here's Tabernacle of Faith. And so I took a couple words, but and I admitted to her when I was in their church. I couldn't lie. You know, today, you know, it's incredible. We call it day Tell the Truth Tuesday.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've been on the television.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was kind of beating them up last week, Pastor. But the brothers, they came together in fellowship yesterday, and it was incredible. You know, because we had a lot of disagreement between brothers, and there's an event empowerment network, and money's coming to the community. And a lot of brothers have yielded their ego, and super ego, you know, for the betterment of the community, and we applaud those brothers because I feel greatness is going to come from here. You know, we're from Omaha. It's only one of O&E. I'm surprised. I'm glad that you guys are here. Omaha, you know how these stars are. They get their own noun, verbs, adjectives, prepositional phrases, all yes, and predicates to introduce themselves. I'm going to let these brothers introduce themselves. We'll get right into the dialogue because, you know, God's in the building. And so, you know, we like to share over here. We're going to share the mic. You know, sometimes they call me Reverend New Hope, the only hope you got. Yeah, I am, and, you know, because, you know, I talk about real stuff. And you know, some reverends don't talk about real stuff, Bishop.
Yeah.
But this bishop right here, and I think we got some other ministers coming in the house. So man, this is God's in the building, without a doubt. And y'all came up 20 stairs, so we're closer to God, without a doubt. I know we're closer to God. So I'm gonna let these brothers introduce themselves. We'll get right to the dialogue. Welcome back to the city. Let us know who you are, where you come from, and what's your objective this time, because you're from the Koji Church, right?
No, I'm not from well, my roots were Kojic.
Okay.
Many years ago when I was a young man, raised in Kojic Church. Holy Deliverance Church of God in Christ, San Bernardino, California. New Jerusalem Church of God in Christ in San Bernardino. With
that's a lot of names. That's a lot of names.
Yeah. But you know how it is. You know.
Right. We know, man. I know black people. We use the whole dictionary. We use every letter in the dictionary, boy, don't we?
Yeah, you know, it was an amazing church because where I came from, and when I was coming up as a child, I know that there's been a lot of church stuff that went on over the years, you know, what have you. But our church was my mother's church, my grandmother's church, and what was interesting about it is that they were filled with so much love. They were the ones that would look at a child in their eye. You wasn't dismissed because you were a kid. They looked at you right in your eye, would say, I love you. They pray with you. The dialogue was not a monologue.
Now, so they came from, because my mom couldn't read and write. She couldn't read or write. So she came from neology or theology?
Come on. Yeah. I mean, you need them both, right? So to hear the word, you know, that's what produces faith, of course. And then when you take that puts you on your knees. You know, that's why people pray, because they've heard something, that they have confidence and what they've heard, and they take that in. It's, you know, they become a vacuum for a word that they know that their heart needs, and that just turns the table with everything. Where you think, the way you see things, your whole ideas, everything begin to change. Now there are those that only pray out of panic. They pray out of just want and what have you. Then there's those that pray out of the fact that they believe that God really is God. So you can, I'm not suggesting or criticizing how people pray, but there are, you know, there's a lot of people that use the Bible basically for, you know, to get what they want, or, you know, at least have an idea that this is what I want, a husband, I want this, whatever.
Right.
But then you have those that see life much larger because they hear who God is through his own word. So, but I love it. I love it both, neology and theology.
Okay. So I'm, you know, I like to, you know, we got to agitate a little bit in order to get a great product. Yeah. And so, you know, I agitate by calling myself Reverend New Hope, the only hope you got. So, you know, other reverends, they get to squirming like they get the Holy Ghost or something. But I look at that as who actually is fighting for God.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Sure. Who actually going to take up for God, because I need to find them.
Sure.
Because we got a lot of people, like I said, in disguise, and they use God for a certain reason or to get certain advantages. Yeah. But I come from a mama that couldn't read and write, so I learned early there's fair is no option. I might lose, but fair is no option. So I learned that our word was bond.
Sure. So what do you feel in your heart that you actually want to agitate? Because you know us, you already know.
Oh yeah.
You already know us.
So okay, now every Sunday, we collect money,
Mm-hmm.
and then we deposit it in banks that don't loan to our own congregation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can we just stop that first of all? Because if we stop that, now we have funding for our own children,
Sure.
for whatever education they want to go to. For our young women who are
Mhm.
led, most of our household are led by single women.
Sure.
Now, if they want to own a house,
Yeah.
we got a pool of money that they can gravitate to.
Sure.
Well, I was just in Washington D.C. and I saw and I'm saying names. Don't get mad at me. Today is Tell True Tuesday. I saw the Southern Christian Leadership leader,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and they smiling, they happy, they got big bellies.
Okay.
Don't get mad at me. This is the truth, and then I'm coming up with a message that we're destroyed because of lack of knowledge. The FCC just opened up a new window for opportunity for radio stations all across America.
Mm-hmm.
We're destroyed because of lack of knowledge, not because of lack of dollars, lack of knowledge.
Sure.
And with this opportunity, we reached over 700,000 people with this radio station. So I don't take it for granted.
Sure.
And I went to Washington, D.C. to lobby, these senators, and I got a pack of them,
Mm-hmm.
senators and the leader of the SCL.
Yeah.
And I haven't got a call yet. They said they want to make change, but they don't use tools that we can make change.
Sure. Sure.
And so I'm just tired of this the hypocriticalness, and they building jails for our young people. I'm a former probation officer. They building jails for them.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
So how can we get mayors? And you the bishop. I call you the bishop. I ain't put your name out there. I just call you the bishop, like you the top bishop. I'm putting total responsibility on you. How can we get them just to make one decision to put their money in a financial institution that will loan to our own people? And we got the hand of that we need someone. No, we don't need nothing for nobody.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
God has already provided. I don't think He's gonna give us nothing else.
Sure. And well, I think first of all we have to recognize that we're dealing with broken systems.
Mm-hmm.
Our money is just the value of a dollar has changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
So we're dealing with systems that are broken, that's constantly changing. It'd be one thing if I can just take this and say this is what we're going to do with it, and it doesn't change. But technology and everything about technology is demanding change. Right when you think you have the number one iPad, then the next day they come out with something else, or phone or whatever. It's a constant change. So we're dealing with change, and it appears to be a system. Well, maybe the word isn't broken as much as it is that it's a changing system that we're always dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're dealing with finances from a church or a biblical perspective, that's only a response to the appreciation of the word or that ministry, whatever the case is, which is very important, because there are people that think that it is about money and that every preacher's rich and whatever, and that really isn't that way. We do have those that have written books. They have different ways of bringing their personal finances in. But most churches, if you really follow most churches, they're giving because they believe in something. Mm-hmm. It's like if you could take a person that's going to a club or something like that. They're not getting in free. They're paying for something. On our side, we give because God has set up a specific order and a specific doctrine of giving. That's a part of our worship. Mm-hmm. And I have to agree that there has been things that have happened with finances that's not good or wholesome or sound, but it still doesn't negate the fact that God has given us how to give, what attitude to give in, because it's not what you give, it's the attitude. But we can change the financials. We can do the bank system.
Right. Well, I'm just talking about it's not even about just integrity, just about just put our money in an institution.
Sure.
That where if your congregation need to go get a loan, they can.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not set up.
It's not set up in many ways. Sure.
And I think we got the Carver Bank that's trying to start, but we got Liberty Bank. The Liberty Bank is probably the largest black bank in America, and there's a few others that we can develop relationships with.
Sure.
And so and back in the civil rights era, they thought on this level because it takes a village. And I don't care what you do with your finance. Just put your money over here. I
Sure.
don't care how much you collect. Just put your finance over here. So we set up our own banking system. So we start loaning to our own people. That's one thing. The
But-
mechanism. I want to hear you from your son.
Yeah,
Your
okay.
son is younger. Your son is younger.
Yeah.
You're an OG.
I'm an OG.
Yeah. Okay. Now.
I don't. Go ahead. Go.
He ready. He ready over there. So introduce yourself, and then tell us how older or younger than you are from your father.
Okay, I am 41,
Okay.
and
So you said, man, you look good.
he
Golly,
listen, he looks
41?
good. He is good. He's sharp. That's my daddy.
Wow, 41.
Yeah, I'm in my 60s these days.
Okay.
Incredible.
Okay, looking good, baby.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Talk about it.
So one of the things when you deal with church, and I want to be real careful, because if you're going to deal with the concept or the understanding of what church is, or what the body of Christ is in the Word, over the course of time, so much has changed. We're no longer word driven. We're no longer truth driven. We're more culture driven. We're more philosophically driven rather than actually biblically sound. So the problem is when you begin to stem and leave the foundations, you start kind of developing your own culture without the ultimate truth in it. And of course, what is the ultimate truth? Jesus, I'm the truth. I'm the way. No one comes to the Father but through me. So when you deal with this truth system compared to where we are now, it's almost like as the church in a whole is just in survival mode.
Okay.
Because not everybody has captured the continuity of truth. Not all people have captured what it is to be a giver, or what it is whenever you deal with giving, because there's been so many issues that we've had over the many years that has caused generations, even with social media now, you do one thing and by tomorrow, millions of people say, wow, this is what the church is. And they base it off what they heard on the other side of the world. So all of a sudden, everybody becomes a victim basically to one situation. That's why I don't do this. That's why I don't do that, because they heard it somewhere else.
But wouldn't it be better if we again we got Native American brother here because we celebrated Native American month. So collective economics. I'm just basically talking
Sure.
about, because we just talking about collective economics. Because we got all types of different denominations, and I got my famous sermon that y'all want to hear my famous sermon. I got a title for it. The devil is using God against God, and what I mean by that, he's using church against church. Sure. Because everybody think they're the way, and so but if we all come together collectively,
sure,
and decide that we're gonna not use this bank and use this bank because we know that's it's going to be beneficial to our congregation.
Sure.
So whatever they want to do financially, I don't care whatever it is, because that's the only way I feel that we're going to actually be independent, similar to owning our own platforms. Because if I say something on Facebook, they cut me off because I own my own platform. But I went to congressional leaders, even spiritual leaders, and they only want to take an opportunity of a free opportunity to start their own radio station. They ignore it. So, man, you got to get out the way. We got to let people that want to work. So, and I'm on the midst of it. I get calls. I'm on the grind. I get calls. I see a 24-year-old black girl try to commit suicide. Her kids right in the next room. You know why? Because she had no resources. You know why? Because we haven't set the mechanism that she had resources. So I'm just asking, why can't, and the church have always been the lead.
Okay, but
has always bucked. We in Omaha. The word Omaha means to go against the current, baby.
Yeah.
So you in Atlanta, Malcolm X. Well, we got the attitude by no means necessary. Ain't no excuse. We do in here.
Yeah, but here's the issue. First of all, we need to define, because you're using the idea of church, so you have to define. No. But here's my point. You have to define the responsibility of church first, which is important, which is not some ecumenical system, right? So the idea, though, or in terms of economy, the idea is to draw from the kindness in the heart and the compassion of the church, right? Because if you look at the Bible, you find that it's a theoretical system scripturally, right? That God, he's the landlord of everything that he gives, and he's an amazing landlord, and he takes care of protecting and helping and blessing his people. Now, from that, if you notice that we're talking about God's people now, I want you to think of it from a biblical perspective. That God picks these.
I'm talking about the church. Yeah.
Right. He picks these people. They're according to Scripture, Old Testament. They're weak. They don't know anything. They know how to build a city, but they don't know how to handle an enemy. I mean, they didn't know how. They wouldn't train to fight. They were trained to build bricks and to build a city. So God delivers them. These are His people. He chooses them. That comes from Jacob. You know, Jacob had 12 sons. All of his sons now are tribes, and God picks these people to set them up to be a light to all of the nations. You know, which is interesting. However, here's what happens with them: they become unfaithful. And after all God has done, I know people talk about He's opened the Red Sea, He did all these miracles, manna came down from heaven, but people are people. Even if they're God's people, they're still people. And so what God had to do, He had to chastise them. They wanted to go back to Egypt. They want to go back to bondage. God has said, I brought you out too far to let you go back there. And so these are His people, and all His faithfulness to every generation of these people, and then to see how that they turn on Him always reminds me that humanity is humanity, with God or without God. So what we do as a Christian community, one is that we have so many tentacles of belief in terms of ministry. You got Baptist, you have Presbyterian, you have all of these different churches that I've not seen yet. I may have seen it once, where I've seen representation from every church. Was in Atlanta. And it was in the big stadium there. There was 70-some thousand people.
But didn't you grow up where I grew up, where we all of faith fellowship? When I grew up,
generations are different. But many generations today, they have a disdain against church.
But Bishop, we should not allow that as an excuse.
It's not an excuse. That's a reality. That's where we have to start from, right?
Yeah, I understand that reality, because I've been going to ministers all the time for years.
Sure.
I get dismissed, and then the famous minister, he's blind, he's dead now. He used to sell brooms around here. He said, and I went to, I was at a table full of ministers. You know, was eating. All they had big old bellies. They were happy. They were happy. No, because God said take care of your temple, and then they not take care of their temple. Don't get mad at me, because I take care of my temple. But and I went to the ministers, but the blind minister came to me. He came to me and put me aside. He couldn't see me. He put me aside. He couldn't even see me. He put me aside and said, "Young guys, man, that's a great idea." He said, "But these mirrors over here, they don't even trust each other.
It's too much."
So I said, he said they don't even trust each other. So,
but that's not unhistorical. That's not it's not unhistorical. It's now. You're talking about a world. We're talking about 7 billion people, right? We're talking about maybe a billion that's Christian, 2 billion that's Muslims, and what have you. We're talking about billions of people that think different. They have different appetites, different desires, different vision.
So we're gonna do Bishop, to bring everything together. I mean, because like I said, it's too many splinters.
One of the things that we can do, first of all, is to respect life. Period. Just simple. We all bleed red. We all need the same air. I mean, we need to respect life, and then life needs to be managed correctly so that we can help other people that may not be as fortunate as we are. But we can't look through things through the framework of all of this is going on and we can't get to it. There are people that have the same heart. They want change, and they want to see it. They want to see the bank systems and everything in place to help different ones. And we have to pray about it. We have to really.
Economically, it's the number one effective of our community, economics. And I know my mom prayed a lot.
I think love is the biggest issue.
Yeah, without doubt. I got some prayers. I got some prayers for my mom. I got 2 brothers that got killed. One by the white man, one by the black man. I got so many prayers. I can go to the prayer wall and pick up my prayer today. Yeah, that's how many prayers my mama did for me, because I was the third son. She wanted me to die.
Yeah.
So I had to make great decisions. So I got a prayer wall. I said, I'm gonna use this prayer today, mama. Well, right there. So we got so many prayers that we need action now. We need action.
And the first action needs to be love. The very first action.
Love. And so the example of all churches come together and we collectively come together, use our intelligent wealth and our
I would love to see that.
Economic wealth.
I would love to see that.
So you're the bishop.
I'm just saying, I would love to see that, but realistically,
we're gonna be right.
Realistically, that's a difficult thing to do.
Yeah, it is, but
very difficult.
But I've been warning our people, 2024, it's Godhood. We're taking over every hood. block by block. It's Godhood, without a doubt. It's
Yeah.
Godhood.
But
And so we gotta have that kind of attitude.
Okay, so once again, though, if the language of love, if the language of love is that you only love your own, I love my own, you love your
I love
culture.
everybody.
No, but my point is, we just love our culture and we elevate our culture and we see things through our culture and on and on and on and on. If that's the love issue, if you define love like that, that's not a proper way of defining love. Now, appreciating cultures, because we have churches all over the place.
I think with the example, the black woman is the only woman that can produce all colors on earth.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We're the mother of the earth. Baby.
But here's my point. My point is that's not as relevant as the fact of what you do. Okay, so you can produce whatever you want to, but if you don't love it, we got an issue, right?
Yeah,
so loving. Real love, and then defining that word where people understand what love is. And let me just give you an example. Now, I've preached or officiated over 300 funerals, every kind of death you can think of. I don't enjoy watching murder movies because I've seen.
You had to lie, did you? You had to tell no twist no.
Oh no. I don't know. I don't invest in that. But here's what I do understand about life. Is that they weep the same, they hurt the same, they're in pain the same. I can't love someone because they're the same color as I am more than I love someone that's not. Because if it's a color commitment, then it doesn't matter about the money. If you go across seas, you find across seas they pay for their education, they pay for their medication. I mean, it's crazy. Their level of crime is so much lower than the United States until it's scary. Right? They love that they have a pride in their country, right? But at the same time, they will kill anybody that's not them.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, so when we talk love, people's idea of what love is, if I'm fixing myself on that I love the church and only the church, we already have a problem. Jesus didn't come to just love Jewish people. He came to love Gentiles alike.
Right.
In the book of John, the 17th chapter, in his priestly prayer, he says, Father, you love them exactly. The Greek is very strong there. You love them exactly the way you love me, speaking of his disciples, which is amazing, that the exactness of God's love. So if we can get to a place, first of all, before the money, before trying to set everything in the bank, because that's already proven people still steal and act a fool. If we can get to a place that we have a real deep love for humanity, if churches can love other churches other than their particular name over their door in their congregation, whatever, then we can start dealing with these problems.
Well, we're going to go back to the trading post days. Exactly. You know what I mean? I mean, honestly, we had to go back to those days where we appreciated. It was a system of mutualism. I need you, and you need me.
And if you notice, they didn't have money.
Right. They no money. That's what I said.
They shook hands, and they had no money. It wasn't a matter of money.
I agree with you. To me, that's the best system.
We put a lot of emphasis on money. But let me tell you, if I have food and you don't have money, I don't have money. I have no food, or I have food.
I agree with you.
We can sit down at the same table, eat the same meal.
Right. And that's how I grew up in the projects, because we didn't have money.
But you had love.
We had love, and then Larry Food Station gave credit to the projects.
Yeah,
he gave credit. My mom couldn't read and write, so I should write the note.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember.
And I was like 4th or 5th grade.
How old are you?
I'm 58.
Oh, listen, I remember.
So I write it, and he'll give us it. Then he'll give us the salt pork word. My mom would have to cook, and then my mom would get her little wage for it. And then when my mom died, you know how much her welfare check was? Like $250 I said, how did she make it?
Yeah. They loved, man.
So
love spread that stuff.
So everything is economics. And Bishop, how long you gonna be in town?
I'll be in town tomorrow night.
So you're gonna be in town tomorrow. So you'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Winning Women Wednesday.
There we go.
I will show up if you want me here.
8 o'clock tomorrow. We're gonna have the Bishop back. We'll talk about women. And because our relationships need to get stronger.
Yeah, sure.
Because I told you that before, even money, love is the first. Is the
our trouble in our country has nothing to do with money. Our trouble is that there are people that want to be in leadership that don't love America and what it stands for, who comes in, and who cares what color you are, where you came from. This is America. You've got to love America. You can't have some definition. Well, I only go for this one, and it's crazy.
Now you're a pastor, right? What church? Okay, let him that.
I know he agreed.
Come over here to Zion Baptist Church. because Zion is one of the oldest churches here in our community.
Pastor, how are you?
It's one. So we always try to give respect to our elders. You know, I mean, I wish my mama. I got goosebumps. God's in the building. God's in the building for real, y'all. Oh, I got, man. I got goosebumps. You can see him. I got. So, no, go ahead. So,
No, you said it. Oh, I don't want to. Okay.
So, man. So, I don't know. The last time I went to Zion, man. I like this preacher over here because he has some great common sense. When he preached. And I don't know how I met him personally, but I've been in the room with him. You know, I'm kind of, I'm part-time preacher. I'm a part-time preacher.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'm just part-time.
Uh-huh.
But I got the real ones here, y'all. So I'm gonna yield. And I want you heard the conversation.
Heard bits and pieces of it. Didn't?
Now, how long you been the pastor over Zion? To let us know who you are first of all.
I'm Kenneth Allen, pastor of Zion Baptist Church. I've been pastor there for 16 years. It's the third congregation I've pastored in Philadelphia and San Antonio prior to coming to Omaha.
Okay, so how you like Omaha compared to the other cities?
Just fine. I grew up in Omaha.
Okay.
My father was pastor of Zion Baptist Church. So
great. So so you do it for real.
There's a connection there. That
well, I ain't gonna mess with you, man. I ain't gonna mess with you.
Oh, that's all right. That's all right.
no. He got family ties, y'all. You know, Omaha's small knit community. So I was talking to the bishop here. Have y'all met each other yet?
No, have not.
Well, the bishop, pastor. I mean, so these are men of God. We got Pastor Mitchell. I mean, I feel very very blessed to be around all these women and men of God, without a doubt. So well, we talked about love. Do you agree? Is love necessary?
Love is absolutely essential. We can't accomplish anything lasting and meaningful without it. We must have love, and love is a verb. Love is not just a thing that you point to, but love is an action word. And if you're not moving, if you're not doing something, if you're not acting, you're not loving. Love and action go hand in hand.
Now you've been around your dad. Now, what's your dad's name?
My father's name, James S. Allen Sr.
Okay, so he probably hung out with Reverend Kelly over at
yes, he did.
Okay. So when I grew up, we had the church had basketball leagues. With all the young people. Do you remember that? All the young people got together, fellowship, and all the churches. So I can't fathom why the church don't. The Koji, the Baptists, everybody don't get along.
Well, it's interesting you should say that. We're working on trying to pull together a basketball league right now.
Okay.
We're trying to pull that together.
Okay. Well, where? Hope Center?
We haven't decided a location. Probably would be at either Hope Center, maybe even at Bryant Community Center.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. See, we like to spread the good news. See, I ain't too tough on the churches today. We're gonna give them some love.
Okay, good.
We'll get some love. So no, but that's necessary because that fellowship that brings parents along, and then now those parents now could talk and develop other strategies of love, whatever we want to decide to do.
Sure. I mean, one of the other things too, I think is, and I'm sure he'll agree with, is that we're learning. Remember, we're dealing with generations. It's not like the church started yesterday and we're there. We're dealing with generations of issues and what have you, and the equity of things is very, very real. So coming together one time is not enough. It's going to be stepping. It's going to be developing. It's going to be processing things, synthesizing things so that we can be more effective. And that takes time. Like your generation, if I may, well, part of your generation, they want answers now because they're tired. They're tired of this stuff. So they lack, respectfully, they lack patience and they become very irritated and frustrated with it. But one of the very first things the scripture speaks of in 1 Corinthians 13 is that love is patient. And so we need you all's patience to help us. We're on our way out. We're entering and exiting at the same time. Every day is an entrance and it's an exit, right? So we're trying to leave something for you all. And as long as you all don't put your foot on our neck, we can probably get something done before we get out of here.
Okay. All right. So,
I'm just saying
no, because sometimes you need wisdom. And I like hanging out with my elders.
Yeah, I do too.
I like hanging out with my elders, and I would try to learn something. I try not to be a know-it-all. only brag that I am the greatest.
But I
rapper
love
around.
you, man.
Yeah, I
I
appreciate
do.
it.
I
But
love
but I know that you love. I know that you love God. I know Pastor Perkins. If I say something, he'll come in and say, "Man, I'm ready for battle. I'm here to battle for God." You know what I mean? But some will run away. Some will retreat.
Yeah.
I consider our station a research station. My mom could read and write, so I do this for real. So I don't want to take it for granted, and I don't want false prophets around here leading our people astray.
Sure.
Because Reverend Kelly wasn't like that, and the men that he hung out with wasn't like that. And so we need those type of men and women, because I love this community. I got nieces and nephews. Who they gonna marry?
Yeah, sure.
For real.
Yeah,
So we gotta be. We can't be selfish. You know,
Right.
just because we have this particular time, and you guys have a library of knowledge in your heads.
We do.
Yeah, we do.
Zion is 136 years old, and there's a lot of knowledge. It's a repository of knowledge and wisdom, I think. And it's interesting that we are in the same block as the Great Plains Black History Museum and the 100 Black Men. We're all right there in the same block. And there's, when you put all that together, along with what's at the Hope Center, which is just 2 blocks away, and then St. John AME Church, which is the oldest Black church in the state of Nebraska, 158 years old. 158 years old. I mean, when you put all of that together, that's a base, and all of that is within 2 or 3 blocks of this location. Our church is just right up the street,
right,
just a block away, and so we have to find ways to come together and to synergize, and we're working on that. 100 Black Men has a new executive director. He happens to be a member of our congregation, and so we're looking forward to working with them on some projects. And then we're looking forward to working with Great Plains Black History Museum on some projects. So we're in the process of trying to come together in this small area, because I'm convinced that this was the center of the Black community in the early part of the last century. In the early 1900s, the funeral homes were located here. The newspapers were located here. The Black newspapers, Black funeral homes, as well as churches, were all located in this small area. And so I see us maybe returning to that time when this was a nucleus. And this does not have to be the only nucleus in the city of Omaha, but as a nucleus of power and a nucleus for us to come together as community.
That church has been seen it all through the riots, the church seen the burnings of the street, and then the disinvestment. Now $500 million is potentially coming to this community. There needs to be a spiritual revolution. Now our senators have enacted a economic revolution, and of course we need to continue that path. But we need to get brothers like that song. I got Christ. So we need to bring brothers off the streets and bring them into church. And it's up to the church to cast that net. I'm not really good with the Bible.
Sure.
I cheated. I told everybody.
We know you're part-time preacher, so
right.
That kind of comes with it.
Every once I get some things, but I think we need a spiritual revolution. And you're the oldest. Y'all two the oldest around here. Y'all got to run this thing, man. You know what I mean? Ain't nobody see through your eyes what everybody else is brand new preachers. You've been around here through your daddy. Didn't you go to church with your daddy then?
Oh, absolutely.
So how old are you now?
Sure. How old am I? 64.
See, been around a long
64.
time. Yeah, he's been around a long time. So
you got to be patient with us,
right?
Yeah.
No,
because y'all listen.
I am an Aries though.
Listen, no, you like it. You want all of these different things happening, right?
Right. But it is happening. But
it's happening. However, it can take decades before it's all in place, right? Because it's not going to happen overnight. Because we're dealing with people actually changing. Do you know how hard it is to change? I know. It takes God to do that. He changes the heart, right? So you have a lot of hidden bigotries and things that are going on because there's no superior race. It's not like when God saved people, he's an elitist and he's looking for the best. It's like he's putting his hands in diamonds and all that. It's like he's saying, as a matter of fact, you're not even qualified for salvation if you ain't jacked up. You got to be jacked up to come to him. Right.
Okay,
and we all are jacked up.
Right.
So the idea is understanding that he's not an elitist. He's not looking for the best of you. He knows you tore up. So he's trying to get you to come on his side, and he'll do anything to do that, convict you, convince you. You'll go through struggles and trials and stuff, just so you can see his perspective of how much he loves you first, so you can give that same love to those that are around you. And I promise you, it has nothing to do with just color. We have issues in certain, as we know, in certain communities that are very, very serious. It's very serious, and we have to address that. But ultimately, the thing that God does for us as believers, he helps us have the same love he has, which God so loved the world, not a world, the world. That's complete. That word "so" is interesting in the Greek, because the expression is that God so loved the world that he gave something. So this love gives. This love sends something. This love retreats the loss, not just criticize the loss. I'm not one to gossip. I'm just saying. But you understand what I'm saying?
No. That's why I like hanging out with you, because you actually like the Lord. You defend them real good, and so and I learn. I'm Bishop. I'm gonna trade.
Yes,
with
absolutely.
Lady.
I love you, sir.
And also, I know we're gonna hang out in a second, but. Now I love you, but I know the pastor got some more work. He's doing a lot of work.
He's doing amazing work. 100 years old. The church is 100 and something years old. Bless you, sir.
So tomorrow morning, you guys.
You want me to come?
Yeah,
tomorrow morning?
Yeah, tomorrow morning.
I'll be here tomorrow morning.
Come on, now.
If you're still in town, maybe you could join us on Saturday.
Really? Oh, get out of here.
For Isaiah.
I know we're gonna have some breakfast. I'm gonna catch up with you guys after the show. Omaha, the birds of blessed. We got a pat. Man, we got Jesus himself is in the building. God, I don't know. We got every prophet in the building. So, oh man, what if we call it Day Tell the Truth Tuesday? We have a lot of truth tellers in the building today. You know, we got pastor, bishop. You know, they don't be lying. You know, they be telling the truth. And so I got another young lady that's in the building. My phone went dead, but that's all right. We're gonna keep it moving ahead. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, mademoiselle, and let's get right into the dialogue. We already talked to one of your co-hosts.
Yeah. Pastor Allen, yes. He stepped out. He'll be right back. But Diana Rogel from Live On, Nebraska. I've been here before.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember me, but we talked about organ and tissue donation.
Yes. Okay.
Yes. So we facilitate donation. We work with families. We work with hospitals. So we're actually the ones that come in the hospital setting to do the evaluation, to do the approach with the families, you know, kind of hold people's hand, like also just really guide everyone involved through the donation process.
Now we're talking about because I signed up for donation. I think after, because I know I spoke to you guys, and then I know Malcolm was here. He had a heart transplant.
Malcolm Robbins, from the Rib Shack.
Yep, Rib Shack. And then after hearing that story, at the last time I renewed my license, I signed up as an organ donor.
You registered. Hey, over here. High five.
Love you. What time you're trying to hook up? About 10. So
you gotta give me a high five for that.
So with their knowledge, it spurred me to help save lives, because when we pass, our organs they're gonna deteriorate, right? I think.
I mean, when you pass away, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, it's a waste. I saw a meme once where they had pictured a whole limousine going into the grave. You wouldn't do that, right? So when you pass, it's almost that amount of potential, like that richness that somebody could be able to take for themselves and their family, whereas they wouldn't have that. So everything has a ripple effect. And donation is such that, and it really helps everyone involved, even the family members of those who pass, helps them through their grief of knowing that their loved one gave, and they're still living on.
And they're still living on, their organs still living on. Man, God's a great God. Man, God's a bad God. I don't know how you do it. He gives us the intelligence in order to do surgeries. Shouts out to Imhotep. I know who the first doctors were way back in the homeland, because we got proof of medical doctors way back in histories in the BCs, And so it's important. They even know that the importance of organs.
Yeah.
Back in the BCs, because they was performing these same type of procedures, and then getting in touch with you guys, learning Malcolm's story to inspire me to even become a donator. For those that are getting a driver license, to sign up to be a donor is very, very easy. You can sign up when you get your driver's license. They make the process very, very easy. And I think it's probably even on our IDs that we're donors.
Yeah, so you go to the DMV, and that's the most traditional way for someone to register their intention. And I always have to say intention, because it's not like certain. And you check mark it, right? You could go online even. A lot of people don't know that. You could go online, you could register that way as well. So it's not like definite. You don't have to wait another 5 years until the question comes up again, in other words. But when I say intention, organ donation is very rare. Only 1% of people who register actually become donors. So that's why it's so important to put your intention down, because if it were to be your family, if it were to happen to you, then everybody knows you were a for sure yes. There's no questions about it. No one's blindsided, and it's an easy conversation. It's like your wishes, right? As you would a will, for example. Like those are something that people have to respect, or know to respect, because you put it down. Now, you were talking about God, and spirituality is something that is in all of us, and many of us think about it when it comes to life and death, and in our everyday lives. And so every year there's National Donor Sabbath Day, and so on Saturday, 2 weeks before Thanksgiving, so meaning the Saturday the 11th, places all over the country get together and celebrate life and gratitude. So we're kicking off the holiday. We're reflecting about the enormous gift that donation can give others. And so we partner with Zion Baptist. This is our second time doing this. Last year we went to Mount Calvary Community Church, and we held this celebration, this interfaith celebration, where we uplifted the voices of those impacted by organ donation, family members of people who passed and have donor heroes, recipients, people who received that gift, and loved ones there to cheer them on. So I'll let, Pastor Kellen.
I attended last year's Donor Sabbath, and that was the first time I had attended. I had been invited by the president of IMA, Reverend Portia Cabot, and I didn't know what to expect. Went there, and I was just amazed. It was such an informative and inspiring day. I learned about what it means to be a donor, because there were actually people there who had been donors of their organs. There were people there who had been recipients of organs. I just learned there, for example, the fact that only 1% of people who actually volunteer to be donors become donors, because of the filtering process and the vetting process. And I was amazed to hear that. So that means we need a whole gang of people to get that 1% to be enough to meet the needs of potential donor recipients. And so it was a very inspiring day last year. I was so excited at the end of the Donor Sabbath that I came to Diana and I told her, if you're going to do this again, maybe Zion Baptist Church could host it, or we can support you in any way that you need. And that's when she said, well, why don't you guys consider hosting it? And that's how we got into this process.
Okay. And then afterwards, you guys gonna have a Thanksgiving dinner too? You gonna feed the people?
Yes. And that's a new feature.
Okay.
So we're gonna have a good Thanksgiving feast.
Wow, Thanksgiving early.
And it's free.
Free?
It's free.
FREE?
Well, we got to break bread together.
So this Saturday, y'all, 3:00, Zion Baptist Church, 2215 Grant Street. It's just right around the corner from our radio station. One of the second oldest church in Nebraska.
It's the fourth oldest Black church in Nebraska, believe it or not.
Okay.
St. John AME Church, which is also right around the corner, is 158 years old. Mount Moriah Baptist Church, which is just up the street, is a year older than Zion. They're 136, we're 135.
Wow.
But then the oldest Black Baptist church in the state of Nebraska is in Lincoln, Mount Zion Baptist Church. And I think there is something like 148, 149 years old.
Black people been around here that long?
Yes. And do you know that St. John AME Church, which is 158 years old, became a church before Nebraska became a state?
Wow.
Yeah, before Nebraska became a state or even a territory.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So
we got our native brothers right here too. So, you know, they was on this land, you know, around that time for sure. So make sure you guys come out to the Donor Sabbath. It's an interfaith celebration of life inspired by the gift of organ and tissue donation. And we all have car accidents all the time, y'all. Blood and tissue as well as organs are always needed for surgeries. A lot of people cannot make it because they don't have that abundance of organs at that particular time.
Yeah. And if I could give you a statistic of that, so there are over 100,000 people across the U.S. needing a life-saving organ. Now, only 40,000 transplants are conducted every year. So meaning that 100,000, there is an influx. You know, every 10 minutes, someone's added to the list, and every 20 minutes, someone passes away.
Wow.
So that's why it's such a crisis. A lot of people don't talk about it because there's a discomfort talking about that. But unfortunately, if we weren't represented enough, people of color are represented by 60% on that list that are waiting. So it's people like you and me on that list that are needing that transplant.
Right.
So it's really our community that's suffering the most. And so we all want to be able to have this topic discussed and create that positive culture towards giving to one another.
As the pastor said, it's about love, y'all. We all got a pass. I don't believe in what do you call those superstitions? Let's go biblical. Will God get mad at us if we give our organs away, Pastor?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not. God does not get angry with us. He gave us life, and He wants us to continue to pass on life to others. That's what our faith is all about. So no, it's very consistent with what God is doing in our lives.
Without doubt. So it's a God certified event. Oh yeah. If you need some brownie points, and you've been sinning. Oh yeah, sign to be a donator.
And can I address one other thing?
Yes, sir.
When I got my driver's license renewal, I signed up to be an organ donor. And I hesitated for just a moment because I started thinking about things like the Tuskegee experiment and Henrietta Lacks and how they used her cells to do research and never compensated her family until recently. And I thought about the ways in which the system has been used against Black people, against my people. But I went ahead and I signed up anyway. And then when I went to Donor Sabbath last year, I learned all of the wonderful things about how much a donor can do to help the life of individuals. Do you know one person can give life to as many as 8 different people?
Wow.
Through their donations, through tissue donations, through organ donations, and other means. And so after going through that Donor Sabbath last year and understanding that 60% of the people on the waiting list are people of color, I said, I know this is the right thing to do. Despite some distant history, this is the right thing to do. And I just want to urge people to step up and to do the right thing and to become an organ donor and to support organ donors.
Right now. So it's not a sin, y'all. It's not a sin. And I guarantee you will be blessed. Like the pastor said, it affects 8 people's lives. I know God gotta give you some brownie points for that.
And in our very own community, Pastor has had some congregants that have received, and that's tremendous, right?
Yes. We had a young man who just passed away last week, who 17 years ago received a liver transplant. And so that extended his life another 17 years. And he used those 17 years to be of service to the community, service to the church, ushering in the church. And he was a junk collector. And he would go around town collecting people's junk and revitalizing it, using it to pass on to other people.
Right.
And he was just a blessing for 17 years. And then at the Donor Sabbath program Saturday, we're going to have a young man who's 10 years old who received a heart transplant.
Wow.
When he was just 9 days old.
Wow.
And he's going to be talking to us. And this young man, I mean, is on fire and excited about the opportunity to talk on Saturday. And so it's going to be a great time.
Is he from this community?
He is absolutely from this community.
Well, I would like to have you guys come back and this next week, and we'll talk about how the event went.
Okay.
If the young man, get him out of school. He'll like that.
I'm sure.
I don't know if his mother will like that, but
listen, my mom big time. So.
But maybe I could ask Tony Vargas to come because he'll be speaking at Saturday's event about his brother.
Tony, because I think he's gonna be running against for Congress also.
Yeah, that's right. Your political side.
Yeah, I gotta ask some of that since we got to have him in here. But no, come back next week. But Pastor, if you will come back tomorrow morning,
okay.
I invite the bishop back at 8:00, and we talk some more God.
Okay.
Because if we're gonna bring things together, we gotta talk about it.
Yes.
And by us talking indirectly, somebody else might hear. You hear what the fourth oldest pastor doing? Man, we got to follow them dudes. You know what I mean? So and the young preachers need to hear from the elders.
Yes, yes, we do.
Sure.
So tomorrow you're welcome to come back at 8:00 tomorrow.
Okay.
We call it Winning Women Wednesday.
Winning Women Wednesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So we talk about we protect women around here for real.
Okay.
I love that.
All right.
Okay.
Man, thanks so much for having us today.
Yeah.
We really appreciate it. I'm excited about the fact that you're talking about real relevant issues here on the station.
Hey, when I thought, man, I grew up in the projects. I got ashy elbow, ashy knees. I don't be using no lotion. My mama used to put me with Vaseline. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's what I do with my babies.
I remember the days.
I just walked down Hard Kennedy, watch me hot in the mud, walking down there, all Vaseline up.
Well, you had great skin then.
Yeah. And here you are today, so
That's
she must have done something right.
Yeah,
right?
but I know. Heck yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna repeat it. Donor Sabbath is this Saturday, November 11th at 3 p.m. at Zion Baptist Church, and that's at 2215 Grant Street. We'll see you there, and we'll definitely break bread together right after service.
Without a doubt. So they're gonna have Thanksgiving dinner. I don't know if they have any chitlins or not. But we had some turkey.
We'll have some turkey.
Some turkey. I don't know about the chitlins.
Okay,
so
turkey, y'all.
We'll work on chitlins and neck bones.
How about this? Come and bring the chitlins. We'll enjoy together.
I'll just kid about the chitlin. I'll just kid. But no, come in fellowship. It'll be a great time to meet the pastor. We need men to mend relationships. Just add a D to the men. So let's start mending relationship. That's part of the equation in regards to love, y'all. All right. So we appreciate y'all. We got our next coming up. Next guest coming in. This brother represent all the natives of Nebraska. You know, they're doing great work over in South Omaha. Miss Polk, you know what I mean? She is making sure that our communities collide. You know what I mean? That we collide and continue to do great work. They got a basketball tournament coming up this Sunday. And man, we want you guys to come over and it's free. It's free. And it's free. Of course, we gotta give shouts out to my man Lemire. His I think is that your uncle Frank?
Yeah.
Frank, okay, Frank Lemire. See how Frank, everybody know Frank, boy. God rest his soul. You know, Frank would come in here, boy. He said he called Omaha a sleeping giant. That's what he called Omaha, a sleeping giant. And he was right. And now he got his nephew in here doing basically the same work.
Trying to.
You know what I mean?
Big shoes to fill, man.
Yeah. So go ahead and introduce yourself, brother Lamar.
Oh, talk up to you. I know what to say. Good morning, relatives. Name's Mark Lemire. I'm with the Nebraska Urban Indian Health Coalition. I'm from Santee and Winnebago tribes of Nebraska. I'm enrolled whole chunk with the Winnebago tribe.
Mm-hmm.
So we got a little deal going on this weekend coming up Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about what's going on.
We got our Hoops for Life event. It's our 12th annual, minus the COVID years. You know.
Okay.
It's always going to be in there. The COVID years.
Right.
Yeah, this will be our 12th day. I think it started back in 2009, I believe,
mm-hmm.
and started to bring awareness to meth and suicide,
mm-hmm.
things like that. And today we're kind of carrying that on, and we're doing a little bit more with it, holistic wellness, with mind, body, spirit, culture.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to add all that. Trying to bring the kids back to their roots. You know what I mean?
Right.
Tournaments all inclusive, all genders, all races. It's free. It's free. Come on over. Sign your kids up. We'll be at the North Star Foundation. Our sponsor, Cambria Hotels downtown. They gave us some discounted rooms. So for out of town travelers that are coming. So yeah, we're doing big things over there, man.
Cool. So you got someone coming in. What's it, Mac?
Zon McLaren.
Yeah. Who's that?
He's from Dark Winds. He's on the movie Dark Winds.
Okay.
Reservation Dogs.
Uh-huh.
He's on there. He's a sheriff on there. He's quite a few movies, man. Matter of fact, I know he's been in like Son of the Morning Stars. There's been a lot of naturally he's played a lot of
Stephen King stuff. And everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
He's going to be our speaker. I get to be his security.
Okay. Cool. Well, cool. So, you guys, if you guys want to sign up for this Hoops for Life 3-on-3 tournament, maybe we need I'm 58. Maybe we need like some 3-on-3s. Maybe get the older guys come out.
Yeah, this is for 3rd through 12th grade.
Oh, so it's high school. Ain't no grown man. So
no.
Okay, so this is for the kids, y'all. Man, they're leaving us old people out. 3rd grade to seniors.
Yep.
Okay, so if you're a 3rd grade,
your old guys can come volunteer to be refs though if you want. We need some refs.
Yeah. Watch that up, Mike. Yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. All right. So if you guys want to come and volunteer to ref, again, this is for grades 3rd grade to 12th grade, and it's for boys and girls, y'all. Lunch will be provided. They're gonna have a 3-point contest. They're gonna have raffles for the young people. It's gonna be this Sunday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. North Star Foundation, right off 49th and Ames. You cannot miss it. Free entry, free registration. Call my man Marcus 402-906-9320. That's 402-906-9320. Give him a call. He can get you set up with all the particulars. Again, there'll be lunch provided. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have some breakfast there. Like they probably have some fruits and stuff there, some water and all that stuff. But make sure you guys come out there and have a great time. They're gonna have all types of raffles and all types of prizes, y'all. And it'd be a great time for the young people to fellowship, y'all.
Yeah, it's a safe place for all the kids to be, all at once. Like I said, it's all races, all genders. We're doing it's with sponsored by our Project Upstream, our youth group at Nebraska Urban Indian Health Center. So
cool, man. Well, I'm going to keep this. I'm going to announce it all week long so people can get signed up. Again, this is the 12th annual Hoops for Life. We are dealing with a lot of depression, a lot of suicide right now, but there's help for you. We got South Omaha, One World. We got the what's the full name? The
Nebraska Urban Indian Health Coalition.
They can assist you over there.
Yeah, we got all kinds of programs over there: behavioral health, inpatient treatment, outpatient treatment, elders program, youth program. We got it all over there, man. We got a full-time clinic over there. Myself, we do STI testing. Syphilis is bad right now. It's big. It's on the rise. You guys be careful. Strap up.
So what's the address of your facility over in South Omaha?
2226 N Street.
Okay. They got a brand new facility over there. Also, I know, have you guys started working on the building across the street yet?
Yeah, we got affordable housing next across the street. We got transitional housing for the people getting out of treatment so they can, get back to their lives in a good way.
Okay, cool. So if you guys are in need any services, make sure you call my man Marcus, man, 402-906-9320, 402-906-9320 for any services that you might need for your family or yourself. And then also, if you want to participate in this activity, this Sunday is going to be here at North Star on 49th in Ames, right across the street from the Walmart. Cannot miss it. 4242 North 49th Avenue, the Pacific address. Again, it's a 3-on-3 geared towards 3rd graders through 12th graders. boys and girls teams, raffles, 3-point contests. I don't know if they're gonna have a dunk contest. They don't have it on there, so y'all must can't dunk. It's a free entry, no charge to any of the family members. Come out and fellowship and clap for our young people as they enjoy themselves in physical activity. As Dr. Brown would say of Creighton University, if we move for 15 minutes until we sweat, it's going to create great health for us. And then also come out see the Zane McLaren.
McLaren, yeah. Zane McLaren.
You know, famous actors, been in all types of movies. And so if you have those movie aspirations, you come out and hear him speak. Come out and hear him and meet him. He'll probably tell you his journey on how he got to the level where he is.
Yeah, I remember him when I was a kid. We were right over here on Leavenworth Street.
So he's from here too, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got greatness coming from here, and it'd be an opportunity to meet another famous actor straight from our community. Shouts out again to Project Upstream. Those youth have a vision to make sure this community is changed.
Yeah.
So we appreciate their work and time. So make sure you guys come out again this Sunday. But also, if you need any services from the Indian Coalition, they're right on 22nd and N. 22nd and N, y'all. Anything else, big brother?
Had to do it, man. I appreciate you so much, man.
No problem, no problem. We're going to be announcing this all week long. So just in case you drive it, didn't get the information, we will be announcing this all week long. It's a free event. We got 2 free events. Saturday, Donor Sabbath, where they are encouraging tissue and organ donation, excuse me. Zion Baptist Church, 2215 Grant Street. And that's going to be this Saturday at 3. And then there's the 12th annual Who's for Life 3-on-3 basketball tournament open to you. 3rd graders to 12th graders, boys and girls teams are eligible. Lunch provided, 3-point contest, raffle. If you need more information on that, call my man Marcus 402-906-9320. Omaha, the Burbs, the Bluffs. We want to thank all our guests for coming in today. We want to thank the bishop. We want to thank the pastor. I want to thank everybody for coming in on this Tell the Truth Tuesday. Boss with us.
I'll make sure Dr. Donna knows. I'll make sure Dr. Donna knows.
Okay.
So we should see her next time. Be ready.
So you made it.
Yeah. I'll let her know that you hooked this up. Plug this in. Sure appreciate it, man.
No problem, anytime.
I got to connect with you, man. Peace. Right now, back to the lab. Like special ed.